1. The cost of being the nice person. There comes a time when you must face a truth you've avoided for too long. Being the nice person has cost you more than it has ever given you. You've bent your back to make life easier for others. You've carried emotional burdens that were never yours to carry. You've put everyone's needs, moods, and expectations before your own, convincing yourself that patience, silence, and sacrifice were the right things to offer. But deep inside, you know the price you paid: exhaustion, frustration, and silent resentment. You've mistaken being agreeable for being respected. You've confused being soft-spoken for being valued. And every time you said it's okay when it absolutely wasn't, you carved another piece out of yourself just to keep someone else comfortable. You've drained your emotional energy trying to protect people who never protected you. You've stood by people who would never stand for you. You've given chances to people who didn't deserve the first one. This is the hidden cost of being too nice. It slowly erases you. It steals your voice. It creates a version of you that's polite on the outside and broken on the inside. And that is exactly why something must change, starting now. 2. When kindness becomes self-betrayal. Kindness is a beautiful quality, but not when it becomes a weapon used against you. There's a moment when kindness crosses a line and becomes self-betrayal. You know that moment well, the instant you say yes when every part of your soul is screaming no. The moment you let someone disrespect you but swallow your discomfort just to avoid conflict. The moment you ignore your own feelings to protect the feelings of someone who wouldn't even pause to consider yours. This is not kindness, this is abandonment of yourself. People admire kindness, but only when it's paired with strength. When kindness comes without boundaries, people stop seeing it as generosity and start treating it like an obligation. They begin to expect your patience. They assume your forgiveness. They take your silence as permission. And before you realize it, you become the person everyone relies on but no one respects. You owe it to yourself to stop the cycle. To recognize that sacrificing your well-being is not noble, it's destructive. You are not obligated to be endlessly available. You are not required to carry emotional weight that crushes you. Your needs, your space, and your peace matter just as much as anyone else's. 3. The power of saying no more. There comes a breaking point, a moment in your life when you decide you're done being taken for granted. A moment when the quiet voice inside you finally becomes louder than the demands around you. That moment begins with two simple words: no more. No more bending. No more explaining. No more tolerating behavior that drains you. No more pretending everything is fine to avoid upsetting others. Saying no more is not an act of rebellion, it is an act of self-respect. It's the moment you stop negotiating your worth. It's when you stop accepting emotional crumbs and finally expect, demand, and require the respect you've deserved all along. When you draw this line, people will react. Some will be shocked because they were never used to you standing up for yourself. Some will be angry because you stopped allowing them to benefit from your silence. But others, the right people, will finally see you clearly. Understand this: strength isn't loud or aggressive. Strength is clarity. Strength is knowing when your spirit needs protection. Strength is choosing yourself even if it makes someone else uncomfortable. No more is not selfish. It is liberation, and it is your right. 4. Stop shrinking to make others comfortable. You've spent too much of your life shrinking yourself so others could feel comfortable. You lowered your standards so people wouldn't call you demanding. You hid your accomplishments so no one would feel insecure. You softened your personality so you wouldn't be labeled too much. You dimmed your light so others wouldn't feel overshadowed. And the worst part is, they never appreciated it. People don't value what you hide. They value what you confidently stand in. Shrinking yourself doesn't protect relationships. It destroys your identity. It teaches people to expect less from you. It teaches you to expect less from yourself. But here's the truth you've ignored for far too long. The world doesn't benefit from a watered-down version of you. The people meant for your life won't feel threatened by your strength. They won't be intimidated by your fire. They won't shrink when you rise. They'll rise with you. It's time to take up space. To speak with clarity. To stand tall in your own worth. You weren't created to be small. You were created to be powerful, capable, and unapologetically yourself. When you stop shrinking, your life expands, and the right people finally see you fully. 5. Become the real, unapologetic you. The moment you stop being the nice person, you don't become harsh, you become authentic. You become someone who values their energy, guards their peace, and speaks their truth without fear. You step into the version of yourself that refuses to be overlooked, underestimated, or used. This is the version of you that doesn't apologize for having boundaries, that doesn't shrink in the face of pressure, that doesn't play small just because someone else is uncomfortable with your strength. Being unapologetically yourself means you no longer seek permission to exist. You no longer wait for approval to feel worthy. You no longer twist yourself into shapes that please everyone but you. Instead, you operate from clarity: what you accept, who you allow, where you give your time, and what you refuse. This shift isn't just personal, it transforms your entire life. Doors you once thought were closed begin to open because confidence is magnetic. Opportunities appear because authenticity attracts the right people. And most importantly, you feel lighter because you no longer carry the burden of pretending. You don't need to be the nice person, you need to be the true person, strong, grounded, honest, and free.